Until I do, we're just going to keep rolling. It's time for Rolling Solo. One day I will get good at this, but not today, Zerg. Okay. Hey, welcome to Rolling Solo. I am your dungeon game master / player, Paul, and this is an actual play Daggerheart show where we are following the adventures of Ariane Chopin, a wanderborn elf guardian, stalwart guardian, who is wandering across the land of Solil, the planet of Solil in the Kingdom of Ashes on the continent of, believe it or not, I have this written down, Eben. There we go. When in our last episode, let's get business taken care of here. First things first, of course, always like or subscribe. Follow. I hope you enjoy these and are following along. In addition to that, since we're playing Daggerheart and using the open beta from Darrington Press, we need to read the following release, which we will. This product was created using the Darrington Press Community Gaming License. The Daggerheart Open Beta Materials are owned and copyrighted by Darrington Press, LLC. All rights reserved. This product is based on the following public game content, created and owned by Darrington Press. Daggerheart Open Beta Materials, Darrington Press, LLC, 2024, available at daggerheart.com. And for a open beta, this is a lot of great material. So I recommend that you follow along, that you go and get it, download it, and play Daggerheart. Okay. So when we last left off, we have our main character, Ariane, and we have two other characters, a fairy named Ursula, who appears to be the bodyguard and or close companion and bodyguard of Kolbrá, Einar's daughter, who we have learned is a minor princess in the House of Einar, who is on her way to the kingdom of Karags to marry a minor prince of that kingdom in order to form a political alliance between the two groups. We had a battle on a road, and our main characters, Ariane, Ursula, and Kolbrá, made their way to the town of... Let me just bring this up for you guys. There we go. Made their way over here to the town of Trefoya. And in that town, found themselves a place to stay, stopped in this tavern, and we kind of closed, finding out a little bit more about Ariane. Kolbrá and Ursula had a conversation, and in that conversation, they decided that they were going to, in the morning, ask if Ariane wanted to join them. So we go from there to a darkly wood-paneled office. Behind the desk in the office sits a shadowed figure. Let's say he's an orc. Well-dressed in what would be business clothes for this world. kind of reading over some sort of paper or report. There's a knock at his door. Enter. A goblin enters the room. Goblins being short, large ears, also green, also dressed in business clothes. He says to him, "Sir, the attempt failed, sir." Failed. Yes, sir. We sent scouts to follow up when we didn't hear back this evening, and we came upon a scene. Apparently, they were able to defend themselves against the entire troop and escape. Escape. Where did they escape to? And this is where we make a roll. Because what I want to know is, and I'm going to say this guy, I'm going to say that they are working against the men in the field who will have a DC of 13. So this is how this is going to work. We're going to roll our hope and fear die, and the DC is 13, and the question is, we're going to ask several questions. Question number 1, were the scouts who went to the battle scene able to determine which direction we actually went? That is a 3 with fear. So we were unable to, they made no attempt to hide their tracks. It was blaringly obvious. Ooh, I get another fear. I am spending a couple of fear to make this scene happen. And I had 5 fear to start with, so 2. So I will still have 5 fear at this point. Okay. I always forget something, and in this one it was distributing my fear and action tokens. They were able to determine which way they went. They made their way to Trefoya, sir. Were we able to follow them to where they are staying? Good question. Were we able? They did some subterfuge in the town. Let's see if it worked. Ooh, that's an 11. Also with fear. Yes, sir. They are staying in a place called Heart's Hearth. Well, then you need to take care of that, don't you? And fade. All right, well, that means that I need to take a break, because I was kind of thinking that we might not have to do this, so I didn't set up an encounter. So, you know what, we'll just switch cameras, and I will set up an encounter, and you can watch me do it. It'll be fun. So let's go ahead and set up our encounter for this. So, the encounter is going to take place. Oops. Let me clear some stuff here. Move this computer so that I can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay. Do I have a wooden room background? No, not really. All right. So let's see where, there they are. Okay. So our characters will have been able to take a short rest, but not a long rest. So let's go ahead and make my corners real quick. Just so that I know how much space I have to draw on. Okay. Say it's going to take place inside the room. We're going to say that this room has 2 chambers. There is a sleeping area back here. Sleeping area, there's going to be a bed, there's going to be a door. There's the entrance to this room. And then there's a kind of sitting area out here. This is an enormous room. Sitting area, there's a fireplace. Put a table here. This is the finest room that this inn has to offer. Okay, and let's put these guys in here. Ariane is off the board. Okay. So let's go ahead and short rest these guys so that we can see how much they have done in a short rest. Downtime. Short rests, they can tend to wounds, repair armor, and prepare to gain a hope. All right, Ariane is going to clear some hit points. She's going to clear 1. She has no armor to prepare, so she is going to... When we last left her, she was sitting and thinking about some bad things that had happened to her in the past, but she was also kind of sharpening her axe, so I'm going to call that a kind of relaxation activity that will clear some stress, hopefully. That will clear 3 stress. Ursula definitely made some decisions, thinks that she has things pretty much under control, so she will clear some stress from her conversation. And I think she will repair her armor. And of course, Kolbrá took no damage in the last encounter and is doing just fine. So, we're going to send in 2 Jagged Knife Skulkers. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So these are a new enemy. They're Jagged Knife Shadows. And so our first question is, Oh, here we are. Okay. Jagged Knife, Hexer, Bandit, Sniper, Shadow. Okay. So for my Jagged Knife Shadow here, I'm sending in 2 of them. So what we're going to need is I will keep this card with their things, and I will just call them 1, 2. I'll give him 3 hit points. 3 hit points, and I will give them each a stress. So there's our bad guys. They have a +3 on intrusion, which is going to make their difficulty much higher. And I'm going to put Ariane. Ooh. Yeah. So I'm going to say that she is in kind of a secondary chamber. That is absolutely 100% the wrong pen. Let's put her kind of a secondary chamber off to the side. This hallway. So they would have put her over here to keep her close. She's in a separate room so that she wouldn't necessarily be able to hear them talking all the way over there. It's super convenient for me, but I got to put people somewhere. Okay. Oh, and I had her looking out a window, so we'll put her here. Door. Window. Okay. This window. This room has another window. We're going to have these guys attempt to enter here. Okay. So this is our setup. So I have my fear tokens. Let's get some action tokens here for our characters. Let's get our action tracker. Action tracker. Okay. And we should be good to go. Okay. So these guys are going to attempt to sneak in. We are going to attempt to hear them come in. We're going to attempt this with disadvantage. The person attempting to hear them is Ursula. They have a difficulty of 13. We are rolling with disadvantage. Not even close. Okay. They're going to come in. They're going to cast Darkness. So I'm going to spend a fear off my fear tokens. I'm going to spend a fear, and they can become hidden, which gives them advantage. They will enter the chamber. We will now get one last chance to hear them and avoid being surprised. fear. Okay. They're going to attack with advantage at each of our 2 party members. So, number 1 attacks Ursula, who is not going to be wearing her armor. This could get really gross. So she can't use her armor. Her evasion is 7. That does her no good. They roll damage. These guys do 2d8 physical, but they do 2d10 when they're hidden, which they are. There's another d10. Okay. So to Ursula, that is 16 damage, which is above her severe. She immediately takes 3 hit points. Attack on Kolbrá. That also hits. It's 5 damage. That is above her minor. She will take 1 damage. And now our characters will wake up. So these 2 wake up. Ursula wakes up, grabs her axe, reaches for her shield so that she can take that. And at least have a little bit of armor. 2 armor to do some work with. So she immediately scrambles awake after being stabbed, shoves this person off of her, comes to. She's large. Kolbrá is still lying down because she's a much slighter person. But she will reach for the only weapon that she has, which is her cane. And we will say they are being very quiet, but knowing that Ariane is in this room, Ursula will take an action, will use her action as well to bang on that wall, and then that will wake up Ariane. So she will have an opportunity to come around and join the fight. So now we have Ursula attacking with her axe, her hallowed axe. However, these guys are hidden. She is attacking with disadvantage. That is an 11 with hope. Minus 3 is 8. I'm going to say I'm going to take the advantage away. It doesn't matter. She still doesn't get to hit. Let's see. No, we'll keep that for the moment. But we should not forget that Ursula still has, from the last session, 1 prayer dice. So she can +4 something. That's her attack. And that was with hope, so it is still character's turn. Kolbrá. She is going to spend a hope. She is going to cast Tava's armor on herself. And then she is going to attempt to push the person on top of her off with a power push. I'm going to say that because this is a magical roll, I'm not going to make her take disadvantage. She gets a +2 on this roll. she gets doubles. All right, so she's going to gain a hope. She's going to gain her hope back, and she is absolutely successful. And because she rolled doubles, so she is going to blast this person out of the room to far range, which is more than very close is like 10 to 50. So these guys are in melee. They moved into attack with daggers. This person is blasted backwards out the door, through the window, and to the street. They will take, that is clutch. Clutch doubles. Good job, Kolbrá. So they take 1d10 of damage. So they take 4, which is their minor. And then we hope we're on the second floor. We fear that we are not. Kid you not, doubles again. She blasted this person out of the room, through the window, to the street from a very high height, and they are dead. And that will take care of one of our shadows. I mean, let me make sure about this. Let me see if she can actually do that. What is far range? Let me look up range real quick. Maps range and movement. 30 to 100 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13 times 3 is 39, so that's not even that far. I'd say that on 2 pairs of doubles, definitely. That's 2 crits in a row. Kolbrá eliminates this person. That's her action. Ariane will make her way, probably, she's just going to dash and be about here. She's coming in, she's got her axe, she's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to spend another fear. I'm going to spend 2 fear to take initiative. I'm going to spend a fear to keep under Cloak of Darkness. And this person is going to make another attack with advantage. Number 1 on that is a 13. They get a +1 on their attack. That's a 14. That definitely hits. They do 2d10 of damage. That's going to be 6 damage. And for Ursula, 6 damage is just above her minor threshold. She will take 1 damage. I will spend 2. 1 to keep this going. They're going to attack again. I'm spending all my fear on this. It's a 10. That attack hits. And that is 17 damage. So that will take her out of the fight. She has lost all of her hit points and will go unconscious. She essentially is dead. Although there's some things we can do with death moves at this point. This person is now left with Kolbrá, but I have done everything I can do with that particular person, spent all of my action tokens and all of my fear. So that will bring us to Ariane. She makes her move to come into the room. She is attacking, but she is attacking with disadvantage. Just to beat a 13. That is a 17 minus 1 is a 16 with hope. So she will attack, she will get her hope, and she will hit. Her battle axe is a 1d10 plus 2 physical damage, so she does 1d10, 10, 11, 12. So bandit number, I guess we'll call this guy bandit number 2, will take 12 damage, which is above their highest difficulty modifier. So on a 12, that will do it. She rushes into the room, sees this person, the darkness is dissipated. She attacks him from behind with her axe and manages to slay the second skulker, or jagged knife shadow. So, man, that crit was critical. It's critical, man. So now we're left with the situation. Ursula is bleeding out, and our characters will go to see if they can help her out. So, okay. Well, alrighty then. I was not expecting to jump directly into combat, but we did. And so I was also not expecting to lose character so quickly, but we did. So how does death work in Daggerheart? Well, this is an excellent opportunity for us to find out. So we look at character death. So when the character marks their last hit point, they're forced to make a death move. And in only one of these moves is the character guaranteed to live, which we chose. We chose to avoid death and face the consequences. So in this case, we need to check and see if so the character survives when using this move, though they have a chance of taking a scar and losing one of their hope slots. If the character only has one hope slot remaining when they make this move, there's a chance the player will have to retire the character. And so what we do is they stay unconscious until healed by an ally or until the group's long rest. And what we're going to do here is they roll a die. Let's see. Specific guidance is how do we give up a die? Sign gives more breathing room. He'll heal by an ally. This might take the form of okay. So it doesn't actually tell us, I know, but it doesn't tell us how to, let me see if there's somewhere else where scars are written down. Roll your fear die. If the value is equal to or under your level, take a scar. So let's roll our fear die. Okay. Roll fear. We got a 10. So that is above our level. We do not take a scar. So Ariane rushes into the room. She sees one attacker. She kills that attacker. As she does, the shadow that the jagged knife shadow had created in the room fades. And she is able to immediately, seeing the danger, she grabs the bedclothes and begins staunching the bleeding from the wounds that Ursula has taken. and she will, binding her up, trying to take care of her, and essentially, I guess we need to have, like, is she still breathing? Yes, she's still breathing. She's, shh, quiet, let me do this. And she binds her up, she locks her up, and there's a, this is tough, because there should be an emotional scene here. There really should. Kolbrá has known Ursula almost her entire life. She has had a day where a number of her longtime retainers, friends, servants were slaughtered protecting her. She has used offensive magic for the first time in her life. I think she sits and just, in a state of confusion and shock, grasping her cane to her chest, and just begins rocking back and forth, and kind of laugh crying, a thing I'm definitely not a good enough actor to do, but she will kind of trying to breathe, having difficulty with it, but Ariane is dealing with this situation. This person is dying in front of her. She has to staunch this blood. She has to bind these wounds. She has to try to find a way to try to stabilize this individual. And for her, this is, she's not somebody who's been in a lot of battle. It's not a big part of her culture, but, she's been in a few tussles, and she's seen this kind of thing before. So she's feeling much more like competent to deal. She stabilizes Ursula and turns to Kolbrá, who is still sitting, just shaking. Looks at the situation, goes to the window, looks out, sees the dead assassin in the street. Comes back to the room, closes the door, goes back out, grabs a chair, comes back inside, closes the door, jams the chair underneath the door handle, takes out her axe, sits, and just waits. She just waits until Kolbrá begins to eventually Kolbrá will get up. She will walk over. She will look down at Ursula, check her to see that she's still breathing, and then look to Ariane. She might live. She should live. She seems tough. We need to move, but I can't move her now. Do you think there's more of them? Well, there certainly were enough. And she's going to make sure the blinds are closed over the window. And just say, okay. And even though there's, where's the light in this room coming from? One might ask, and that would be an excellent, excellent question. So we'll say it's coming through the window, that she's been working kind of in darkness this whole time. She's an elf, she's got great vision. But she'll just say, just stay away from the windows, stay quiet. You might as well try to sleep. And they will try to take a rest until morning. So, over the course of a rest, Ursula will be able to get, over the course of the night, I will say, we really hope we're not attacked again. We fear that we are. Okay. We hope that we are not attacked again, and we are not. They sent 2, and that's what showed up. They did not send any more after this. So we're not attacked again over the course of the night. Ariane will not get a long rest. She will remain at the state that she's at right now. She can, let's see. Yeah, she's not going into a trance at this point. That would be insane. She is going to not get a long rest. Ursula is going to get a long rest. So let's see, what can we do during the long rest? So she has been patched up and tended to, and can clear all marked hit points. So that's good. She had already repaired her armor. I'm going to say that this is going to cost her 1d4 of hope, because this seems like a fairly extreme. In fact, I'm going to say this costs her all of her hope. Because I feel like there needs to be more of a consequence here. I think I'm going to go with costing hope. So Ursula will lose all of her hope. She will drop into a bit of a coma. She will sleep late. And our heroes will stay in this room until well into the morning time. But eventually, Ursula is able to move and get up. So she will. She immediately checks. She sees, Kolbrá, who also will not get a long rest. She's not able to sleep during this time. Oh. She has something called Mending Touch, where she can channel healing magic to help close their wounds, and I think she's going to do that. No, she didn't do that. She didn't think of it. Because I didn't think of it. So, but I think in the morning she probably will. and using her magic, she's able to, just using magic, she's able to like get Ursula like kind of in like, as Ursula's lying there, she's clearly out of danger. She's breathing much more quietly. The sun is up. Kolbrá will make her way to the bed, put her hands on Ursula, and concentrate. And slowly, some of the wounds begin to completely close. And Ursula is up and is feeling like better than she would have otherwise. But we have no hope. And so the question is, what now? So Ursula gets up. She looks at Ariane. Well, that's twice that you've saved me. Yes, it is. You're all right. I'm fine. How are you? I've had worse. What? Has anyone else returned? Not that I've heard. As far as I can tell, they only sent the two. Well, the one. That's what she didn't see the second one. They only sent the one. Two, actually. Two? What happened to the second one? Oh. They left by the window. And at that point, Ariane remembers seeing the crumpled body on the ground. So, yeah, of course. They left by the window, really? They need to get moving, and they realize this. The question is, where do they go? They're going to keep sending people after you. This is too much for two. We need a larger guard. Well, someone knew you were staying here. Someone is following you. Who can you trust? Well, what do you suggest? I suggest we get off the roads. I suggest we make our way to someone who you really feel comfortable with. Is there anyone in this town who you think is absolutely on your side? I don't have any family here. No. So they decide that they need to get onto the road. So we're going to montage this a little bit. They are carrying a certain amount of provisions and things like that. We are going to, the decision is made that they can try to outrun their pursuers and outrun these assassins, make their way, continuing onward to Trefoya, or from Trefoya to the coast. continue to head east down the road to, I think it's Velvavik, where one of Kolbrá's brothers is, and there's a much larger presence of the king's soldiers. Perhaps a foolish move, but it's the move that they're going to take. And that will be the end of this session. That is their current plan, but whether or not they do that, we don't know. I'll make some decisions about that. Well, let's ask some questions, because we ran through that in character, but we could have things go a different way. So let's look. First question. We will use some oracle checks to see about this. First question as we close this scene. Is there someone in this town who both Kolbrá and Ursula believe that they can trust, given the situation that they're in? I'm going to say that I would expect so. So we'll say that this is expected. Our chaos level is pretty high right now, so I think our chaos die is going to be a D8. And so I would say that it's likely that they believe there is someone that they can trust, or very likely there's someone they believe they can trust. Okay, that's a 10 on the die. And with a likely, this chaos level, that's a 16. Which means that they believe that there is someone who they can trust, but there's a negative event. What is that negative event? Roll it again. 1. Okay. It's going to be a combat encounter. Why is it going to be a combat encounter? Man. So, the person that they believe they can trust is definitely not someone they can trust. It is, in fact, the person who has been attempting to have them attacked. So, well, maybe. There's going to be a combat encounter. That we know. No, I rolled the wrong die for the chaos die. I'm supposed to roll a D8, not a D20. Let me roll the D8. Maybe it won't be a combat encounter. 6. Create something in the scene. Conjuration. Well, we've been in this room with this dead body. It's been dark. So let's search the body. We will create a clue. So there's a clue that tells us something important. So as this discussion is going on, we could just run. We should, Ariane believes they should get off the road into the woods, head back to the castle, is her recommendation. She only says it once. Kolbrá believes that they should seek some kind of help from a member of the kingdom. She's a princess. She believes implicitly that she can trust servants and underlings. She always has been able to. And she's young. Ursula is of the opinion that they just need to make a run for the coast. She believes that they can trust family. She is not certain that they can trust anybody else. She's been a little bit more involved in things like plots and palace intrigue, and she knows that people can betray you, and that people have betrayed the crown, and it doesn't get out much because, they deal with it. So, with that discussion happening, Ariane will reach down to the body as she decides to search it in the early morning light, and she will find something very important that will resolve where we go next. And we will find out what that important thing is and where we're going to go next week on Rolling Solo. So thank you for playing Daggerheart with me. This has been kind of a trip. It did not go at all the way I expected it to. As always, you can always find me at you can shop at etsy.com/shop/solidsoftdesign if you want to buy any of specifically this merch. Wow, that was intense, man. So until next week, keep rolling.